Capone's bootlegging operation during the 1920s was one of the biggest crime stories in American history. Born in Brooklyn in 1899, Capone moved to Chicago and started working for Johnny Torrio, who was running the city's underworld. When Prohibition kicked in, banning alcohol in 1920, it created a goldmine for criminals like Capone. Taking over, Capone learned the ropes under Torrio, who saw the potential in the illegal liquor trade. After an attempt on Torrio's life in 1925, Capone took over, ready to make his mark with bootlegging. The empire. Capone's operation was huge. Smuggling and selling, he smuggled booze from Canada, where it was still legal, into Chicago via the Great Lakes. His network then distributed this alcohol through speakeasies, hidden bars where people could drink out of sight of the law. Making liquor. Instead of just smuggling, Capone set up secret breweries and distilleries. These were often tucked away in industrial areas or mixed with legit businesses to stay under the radar. They churned out beer, wine, and spirits to keep up with demand. Bribes and corruption. Capone didn't just rely on muscle. He also had a knack for buying off cops, judges, and politicians. This corruption meant his operations were rarely interrupted. And if they were, he usually got tipped off. Violence. Chicago was a battleground with rival gangs like Bugs Moran's North Side Gang. Capone was ruthless, famously orchestrating the St. Valentine's Day Massacre in 1929, where he wiped out 7 of Moran's men, sending a clear message to anyone thinking of challenging him. The money. Capone made a fortune, with some saying he was pulling in millions each year, not just from alcohol but also from gambling and prostitution linked to his speakeasies. His business indirectly boosted Chicago's economy by creating jobs. The fall. But all empires fall, and for Capone, it was tax evasion that did him in. Eliot Ness and his Untouchables focused on Capone's finances since they couldn't nail him for his more violent crimes. In 1931, Capone was convicted for not paying taxes on his criminal earnings, getting sentenced to 11 years, much of it served in Alcatraz, where his health took a nosedive due to syphilis. His legacy. Capone's story has become legendary, often glamorized in movies and books, but it also shows how prohibition could lead to crime and corruption. His downfall helped shift public opinion against prohibition, leading to its end in 1933. Capone's life is a wild ride through ambition, crime, and the societal fallout when the government tries to ban something as popular as alcohol.